I found this little hole on the side of the road. Yes, this side of the fucking road. She was a stray cat, but I think she was a little feral. Okay, I'm gonna go into Monster's adoption story. Just to give a little context, I was going through like one of the worst times in my whole life. I won't really go into it, but I was not really able to live at my apartment, so I was living with a friend, and I was driving home to his house, and I see this little cat on the side of the road, and something in me said, you know, this is my baby. So I kind of drove by her, and then I called my friend TJ, and I was like, I just saw a stray cat, like, can I bring her to your house? And he was like, yes, I think we can make that work. So I pulled around, and I was kind of on this really like multiple lane exit from a big highway, and it was pretty close to the highway, so you know, she was on a really big road exit from a highway, so pretty much a highway. And so I pulled around, and I pulled out to the side of the road, the highway, and I got out, and she kind of looked at me like she was very nervous, and I thought she was just gonna sprint away. So I kind of started approaching her, and then she looked like she was gonna bolt, and then instead of bolting, she kind of came over and like bunted my hand with her head. And that's when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna grab this cat. So I grabbed her, and she weighed like nothing, and right now she weighs nothing, you know, she's like 6 pounds now, but she weighed even less then. I picked her up, I went to the back of my car, opened my trunk, and I just threw her and slammed the trunk behind her before she could run out. So I got in the car and I drove home, and she immediately came up to my shoulder and was like purring on my shoulder, like sitting on my shoulder. So this is her the first night that I got her. Surprisingly, she doesn't look that skinny, but trust me, she was like, I think she was like barely 5 pounds at this point. And she was so hungry. She just kept running around. So the next day I took her to the vet, and happily she did not have FIV or feline leukemia or anything. So I brought her inside, and she immediately curled up into a little croissant roll and fell asleep. And then this is the next day. She was starting to warm up to me and being really sweet, and still like sleeping so much. Like she just slept most of the day when she wasn't, I mean, I guess that's what cats do, but she was really sleeping more than usual, and she was so hungry. Anytime I would feed her, she would lick the bowl like fully clean, and I tried to only feed her like smaller meals because otherwise she would eat it all and throw up everywhere and then like fall asleep. So at this point, she was really not allowed to be in the main space of TJ's house because she would rampage through the cabinets. And also she had a roommate cat who we were trying to introduce her to. Finally, I did give her a bath because she was stinky, and you can see how kind of tiny she is in this video, like, and that's the roommate cat that ended up getting along with her. But at this point, I was kind of like, this is my cat. Like, I would not have met her if I hadn't have had to move to my friend's house because of this, you know, this terrible life event. And so I just kind of felt like, you know, I was supposed to have her. Like, the cat distribution system really did me good. And for a stray cat, she was really sweet. The vet did tell me that they thought she was about 6 months old when I found her, and they weren't sure if she had already been spayed. So we had to shave her stomach, and they thought they saw a space scar, and she never did go into heat, so I kind of got out of her having to pay for that surgery. But recently, a vet told me that they think she might be an older cat, like, because she has these lines on her teeth, and she has more, like, tartar on her teeth, so they think she might be an elderly cat. That makes me very upset, the idea of her being old, but I'm hoping that they're just wrong, because I don't know how the first vet could be so wrong and think she's only 6 months old. But I will say that part of it might have been her really small size. She's only 5 pounds, but she never did grow really any bigger. Like, she gained about a half a pound, maybe a pound, and that was it. And then about maybe 4 months into me having Monster, I got Irritant because I did not want Monster to be alone